welcome to Capital Combat. The name says it all. I'm Hakeem Branch, and today I'm going to do a little different video than what we're used to. Usually, you see us, Rob and myself, breaking down fights, showing the sweet science to, a more educated, mostly educated fight fan, or those that are on their way to becoming fight fans, learning the ins and outs and things that they can see to make them appreciate the art and the skill of the fighters they see in the ring. But today, I am going to just talk about what our responsibility is as hardcore fight fans, or purists, as a lot of us like to call ourselves. Those of us who may be turned off by the event that we had this past weekend in the exhibition fight between Floyd Mayweather and one of the Paul guys. I'll be honest with y'all, I don't follow them. Not a fan, didn't know who they were before they started boxing, but there's an opportunity here. There's an opportunity for us as hardcore fight fans, as purists, like, I gotta throw the quotes up and all that good stuff, to bring more fans to the sport using these events as a medium. And the reason I say that is that a lot of times, especially if you go on comment sections and different message boards and groups, wherever you frequent to talk with other hardcore boxing fans and purists, they always put down the casual. You got a different opinion than me? Casual. You have an unpopular opinion that may not be one that someone who has a more trained eye in the sport will look at. You're casual. And it's used as a dismissive term, and it's pretty much lazy and irresponsible in our standing to take that stance against someone who doesn't know as much as we do, or who is not as entertained by the high skill level of what you would see in top-notch, high-level martial art boxing. Like when you see those guys who are completely dedicated to the craft and fight the best guys out there. So what we saw a lot of this past week and in the weeks leading up to this event were a lot of people saying, oh, this is bad for boxing. This is putting a bad name on boxing. But if we just thought in a different way, because a lot of us were like, oh, why are they paying so much attention to this when we have this fighter, we have that fighter? That's your window of opportunity. This is where me, you, and anybody else who considers themselves a hardcore fan, a purist, or somebody who is really, really into the sport, someone who follows those guys, I'm going to mention some names in a second, but you can now say, hey, you're interested in this. Let me show you Errol Spence versus Sean Porter. You want to see a really good fight with some really good boxers? Check this out. Check out Nonito Donaire versus Naya Inoue if you're a super duper hardcore fan. If you can watch Mayweather versus it was either Jake Paul or what's the y'all got to tell me in the comment section what's the other brother's name. It's Jake Paul, not John Paul. Something Paul. Either way, if you would have said, hey, you find this entertaining? How about you watch this fight? We got Devin Haney versus Jorge Linares. Nonito Donaire versus Ubali. I said his name wrong, sorry. But those are the fights I'm talking about. Pull up a Canelo fight. Say, hey, you like to see guys get knocked out? You like to see back and forth scraps? You like to see boxing at a high level? check these out. Not only are you seeing guys pulling off moves that you won't see the average person doing, they're also entertaining at it. Check these guys out. Come watch this fight with me. Watch Triple G versus Canelo. Watch Triple G versus Canelo 2. Or to lead them in and then introduce them to something even better, higher skill, show them Deontay Wilder. Say, hey, you like to see guys clown and act out, knock people out? Check out this guy. Check out Deontay Wilder. And then introduce them to Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury. Talk about the skill that Tyson Fury has, the power that Deontay Wilder has, and how there you have those dynamics with guys who are dedicated with the craft. So there are tons of fighters and fights that I didn't even mention that happened over the course of this year. Chocolatito Gonzalez and Estrada. There are 2 fights. Gold. There's so many different fights. You can put some in the comment section below. Check out this fight. And this is your introduction as the casual fan to possibly become a hardcore fan. And then show them, hey, you saw how he set this guy up? He used his jab. He feinted this way, made the guy come in with a punch, and then he hit him with the right hand. Or he threw his hook as a throwaway punch and then threw the right hand and set him up. He hooked and then came up with an uppercut. That's some high-level stuff. And then you get to see that violence and those knockouts as well. And you draw them in. And then you have somebody new to talk to. You have somebody more excited in the sport. And that's what really keeps the sport going. Somebody probably watched the exhibition this weekend, saw the Badu Jack fight, saw the Luis Arias versus Jared Hurd fight, and was like, hey, I like what I saw from these guys. Let me check out the guys in and around their division. And this weekend, packed with fights that you could show those fans to say, hey, you enjoyed that? Check these guys out. I think you're really going to like them. And now you got a hardcore fight fan. Rather than you saying, oh, this is stupid. This is dumb. This is making a mockery. It's all in how you take it. And I'm not even going to lie to y'all. I had those thoughts too for a few seconds. I was like, hey, maybe not. Maybe this is a good thing. It's all in how you look at things. So that's all I got for this video, guys. I just wanted to rant a little bit because, I'm a person. I got feelings. I try to keep them out of my breakdowns or recaps. But this video, we just, I'm sick of going on message boards, going on Facebook, going on Instagram and all that, and seeing those comments when it's like, we got an opportunity here to do something more, to do something better, and we were choosing not to take it. So, like I said, we got a lot of fights this weekend. Both Rob and myself will be doing videos. We got MMA coming on this weekend, and we got a boxer crossing over to MMA, which is something that's, a lot of people, then you have those MMA bros who say that they don't do that because you had the boxers coming, the MMA fighters coming over to boxing. There's a whole lot of different nuances going on here, but you've got someone who is a skilled practitioner in boxing becoming a skilled practitioner in MMA. You got all kinds of boxing title fights on this weekend on different networks. It's a buffet of combat that you can introduce people to this very weekend. So get out there and do that. And then hit subscribe on this so you can see Rob and I's breakdowns of these videos. Comment down below. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Capital Combat. Follow us on social media. And let's continue this conversation. So we'll see you in the next video. And until then, fight on. Round
won and you've already lost. They don't seem to see that everything we've done is coming and gone. My fists are on fire, I perform till I perspire. My demons are in a rage, keep thinking that it's a game. I kick crime, hurricane. I told them I don't play, I'm liquid.
Black Street Fighter.